Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be making enfrijoladas. These are soft cheese and onion filled rolled tacos smothered in a sauce made of pureed beans. They're very easy to make and so delicious. So for the filling, I'm going to be using cheese and onion. I have 10 ounces of queso fresco and 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. I also have 3 scallions I've chopped, a bunch of fresh cilantro, which is optional. Now I'm going to add half of a small onion that I have chopped. I'm going to also add a little bit of cracked black pepper, give it a mix, and that is my filling. You could also use chicken and cheese, beef and cheese. Use the filling of your choice. Once I'm done combining the cheese mixture, I'm going to place it back into the refrigerator until I'm ready to use it. So I'm going to prepare my corn tortillas. What I like to do is pass each tortilla through hot oil just for about 15 seconds to make them soft and pliable and heated through. Now, if you do skip this step and you add the bean puree, you might run the risk of your tortilla disintegrating before you have a chance to roll it, or if you like to reheat it on the griddle after dipping it or smothering it, it'll definitely fall apart. So this is why I do this. So for this recipe, I'm going to be using around 14 to 16 corn tortillas. Definitely works for the amount of beans I'm going to be making. I'm actually making a little bit more than what I need to, but I'll give you the ingredients and measurements below the video. So for my bean sauce or bean puree, I'm using leftover CHARRO beans. I will link below my CHARRO beans recipe and frijoles de olla, or just a pot of beans that work great with this recipe. So I'm just going to add my beans and liquid into my blender. Now, if you're using store-bought, then maybe 2 cans of beans, and instead of using the liquid that the beans come in the can with, you want to drain that, give the beans a rinse, and maybe use some chicken broth or stock to give it flavor, and add the seasonings and salt of your choice. Once you puree it, you can definitely add it into a pan, but I like to strain out anything that didn't get pureed to just end up with a silky smooth sauce. And it is optional because typically when you make enfrijoladas, you basically mash the beans with a little bit more liquid than you would making refried beans to make it sort of saucier. And that's it. You don't have to strain it. This is something I like to do just to yield a smoother sauce. So right into my wire mesh strainer, I'm just going to strain my puree. Once I'm done straining my puree, in a preheated pan, I'm going to add around a tablespoon or so of cooking oil. And now I'm going to add my entire bowl of strained bean puree, and I'm going to cook it. And here at this point, you'll want to mix it, reheat it, let it simmer for a little bit, and you'll want to taste it for things like seasoning and salt, especially if you're just using store-bought canned pinto beans. And actually, with this recipe, I sometimes use black beans, red beans. It just depends what leftover beans I have. It's very versatile, and it really is a good dinner idea or lunch idea, or heck, even breakfast. Sometimes I like to add eggs on top of these. So it really is something delicious my family enjoys. So I let my bean puree simmer for about 5 minutes on a medium-low heat. So now I'm ready to assemble these. Now I'm just going to fill my heated through corn tortillas. I'm going to do about 3 or 4, and I'm just going to roll them into rolled tacos. Now, at this point, you can dip your corn tortilla, place it on a plate, fill it, and put it back on an oiled griddle to sort of reheat it and get things hot and melty. But this is just what I prefer to do. And with beans, I find them so hot to put my fingertips in. So what I do is roll out my cheese-filled tacos, and then I just pour and smother the beans over them. I find dipping it in enchilada sauce a lot easier than actual piping hot beans. I feel like it's a lot hotter for your hands. So this is just something I do to make life a little easier. But you definitely can pre-soak and smother the beans before rolling out your tacos. So now that I have almost 4 rolled out, I am going to take it right over to the stove where I have my bean puree / sauce simmering, and I'm just going to ladle and spoon over until I have completely smothered these delicious cheese-filled rolled tacos. You can definitely garnish these with the garnishes of your choice, maybe some shredded lettuce or cabbage, salsa, avocado, or crema. It's definitely up to you. I'm just going to add some of that extra cheese mixture, and these are ready to be served. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.